What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. So, yes, Anton has been having he does panels and things like that. And yes, he's been bringing a lot of things here, and he's been having discussions with his panels here lately. And yes, I am bringing this to you guys. Shout out to brother Anton. And man, it's I titled it the way that I titled it because you guys really need to check this out. So yeah, we're gonna dive off into this. I'm checking this out with you guys to a certain degree. I checked just a few minutes, just hot second, just to see what's going on. But listen, look here, quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
Why do you think the female leadership is being pushed so much these days?
I think that we are out of order, and I don't think that it's a lot of reasons. I'm gonna give you the main ones. One of the main ones is that I think that white man lost the country. I think that white man completely lost the country. I think that these white men today, largely, not all, but a lot of them, are a disgrace to their ancestors. As much as we don't like our history as far as slavery and all of those type of things and how they came over.
Do you see the panel? I'm sorry. But this is about as much as I dove off into it. I wanted y'all to see the facial expressions. Real talk. I wanted y'all to see the facial expressions because this is going to matter and things like that. Anton is speaking facts here. Real talk. Sorry, but it's the truth. It's the truth. If the white man allegedly was it took this country over, things like that, allegedly, all this type of stuff, listen, look, we got to accept these facts. And this is what it is here. Come on now. Let's keep going.
They came over and they took this. They didn't ask for permission. They took this fucking country.
Right.
They came over here like bullies and said, and they was a weaker physically. They were weaker physically than Indians. They were weaker physically than Africans. And they beat the fuck out of both of them and made them both submit. They made one of them go and take their place in the corner in that part of the country that's not as fruitful. And they took the other one. They said, now you built this motherfucker up.
That will be the Indians that are on the reservations that we barely see in society. Let's keep this real. How many of you in the world today see an actual Native American out here?
And what the French toast is there to think about?
On a daily basis. How many of us? Real live Native Americans. They are on a reservation. They have a plot of land that they live on, have been living on for centuries now. Well, decades, basically. Well, centuries, decade. You can, give or take. But yes. And then there's us, black people. And yeah, on the backs of us, we built this thing. Let's keep going.
I mean, if we just want to really take it into consideration, right?
Right.
They were some mean, tough motherfuckers. They said, we're going to turn this country into what we want it to be. So we don't even like what's going on over there. So we're going to make our own way over here and we taking this bitch.
You admire that type of leadership?
Absolutely. 100%.
Wow.
The whole world since the beginning of time was built off of clashing and which values is going to champion. Listen, losers don't get a chance to write history.
The winners do.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
I'm going to finish it for them. Listen, look, I'm watching this right with you guys. I'm watching it right now with you guys. Like I told you, I didn't get past the first few minutes with what I said I didn't get past. Listen, look, yes, the winners write history. And regardless of whether we like these facts or not, this is the truth. And this is what's going on here now. That's the reason why we're having the issues that we're having right now. They lost the damn country. Seriously.
Losers don't get a chance to write. As much as I may not agree with why they did it or how they did it,
right.
The reality is that it happened. Regardless of if I liked it or not, it happened. The truth is that it was some established principles that was set, and not their ancestors, the generations that came after them, they lost it.
Sorry about that. Here we go.
Decimated from within by their own women. That's crazy to me. You can go over and take a whole country with women and kick you the fuck out of it and tell you that you toxic while also benefiting from the shit that you bled for.
Right.
That's insane to me. So, for me, all the way back from biblically, every single story that I've read, biblically, it was war. The children of Israel would go in and they would wipe out everybody. Everybody. And God would tell them, don't take their stuff, don't take their gold, don't take their women, don't take none of that shit.
That's what he told them. That's what God told the children of Israel. Hold on here. I know we don't like this talk. I know we don't like this talk. But if you read the book, if you know your book, I'm the son of a preacher out here. You ain't finna tell me God didn't tell them to take over, get rid of everything.
Wipe them all out. Destroy them all. And so, historically, there has always been war. There will always be war. I would prefer peace, and I would prefer to put American values, since this is a system that I was born into, above all. But the reality is that if we look at the difference between men and women, and we look at the clashes of them, how did it get this way was the original question. And it was that we became feminine. We became like women. That was it. Men used to go off to war. Men used to go off to work. Men used to fucking do men shit. And then we became like y'all, and everybody told us we needed therapists and to follow our feelings.
And the reason why that is, and the reason why that's so for men, is because the world has been structured to a degree, especially in the 21st century here, to where we do have a certain time. We've had a certain time of peace. Now we've had proxy wars and things like that, little wars here and there, stuff like that. But we also have built, especially over here in America, I'm gonna just keep it to America. We've built America to a certain degree of, peacefulness, and also our borders are so secured. Until recently, we got the Mexico southern border, stuff like that. Until recently, now our borders are so secured to where when you get ships coming from either side, we can see it coming. And then we also have Canada above that's kind of, got our back to a degree, things like that. But we've been so, organized now till it's been such a peaceful time here in America till we built things up. We have an infrastructure that is somewhat reliable, basically on a day-to-day basis and things like that, versus other countries that don't have the infrastructure that we have. And it's created a time to where men can relax, I'll put it that way, versus throughout the past histories. And by us being so relaxed as men in our masculinity, where we in ancient or previous times, we were, not relaxed because it was turmoil, strife, wars were happening consistently every year. When the Spartans went to war, they went to war for like a whole fucking summer until winter came about, and then they stopped the war, let winter pass, and then they went back to war. So it's a whole scenario to this situation of losing the country, like what Anton is talking about. It's very serious and it's very real.
Regardless, we build shit. We tear shit up, we build shit, and we clash. That's what we do.
Right.
And we survive.
And that's never going to change just because America decides to follow their women.
I mean, we are, listen, if we had to compare ourselves to Marvel characters, men more closely identified with Hulk smash than the Endgame Hulk. We didn't like the intelligent Hulk that was taking pictures and selfies.
Trash.
I got a friend who told me about this website.
Facts, though. Yeah, they hit me with commercials on this one. They know the shit real.
I was beating the fuck out of Loki when he was talking too much. That's
Right.
the one that we identify with. We fucking monsters. And the only way that you can tame us is in the bedroom. That's when you get our attention.
I mean, how did you think that Samson pretty much got deleted? That the only way that Samson got took out was because of Delilah. That was it. That was the only way Samson got defeated. And if Delilah never met Samson, Samson would have been the greatest destroyer this earth has ever seen.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
If they never thought to put Delilah on Samson, like they do anybody nowadays, the most powerful men always get taken down by women. It just is what it is.
Otherwise, smash it.
Right.
I mean, what else do you want?
You just described a very chaotic person.
No, I described a person that's intentional. And let me tell you something. And here's the difference. And this is the part that's important, Jazz. I really want you to catch this part. We are in this country, okay? And everybody else is looking at us as food. And in order to fight a monster, you need a monster.
Right.
You need an intelligent monster. They don't give a fuck about what we think. Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, Brazil, name it. They're not looking for diplomacy unless it's in their benefit. So you got to negotiate and you got to actually help them to understand how it's going to benefit them. Otherwise, they don't give a fuck.
And there we go. And there we go. And this is the facts about diplomacy, is the way that we're trying to work the world nowadays, which we didn't used to have as much diplomacy on this planet as we do now. And this is just real. Look at Russia and Ukraine right now. It's not a lot of diplomacy going on right now with that situation. Not a lot. It's clashing. It's wartime over there. Why you think they sent the women and children off and they kept all the men, even the 60-something-year-old men that probably got arthritis, can barely move. All men had to stay. That was a declared law in Ukraine. All men had to stay, period. It didn't matter how old you were.
And so it's not about how we feel. It's about what's in the best interest of the people.
Right.
You need somebody that's going to make the uncomfortable decision. The reason why I identify with Thanos so much is because Thanos wasn't there to make everybody else feel good. He was there in order to save the world because he had already seen what happened to his own planet. It was no more of him because everybody wanted to make everybody feel good.
Ooh. And whether they come crawling, right back to me. Right back to me. Thanos.
It's difficult decisions that had to be made that other people couldn't make. That's why he identified, I hate to go into the movies. That's why he identified so much with Tony Stark. Because Tony Stark understood that with leadership come uncomfortable conversations and decisions that everybody is not going to agree with, but I got to make the decisions that's in the best interest of most of the people. So when you see immigrants coming into this country and you see everybody letting everybody in, and we starting to have a conversation about mass deportation when they shouldn't have never been here in the motherfucking first place, that's an issue because now we've developed an affinity for people that was never supposed to be here because they came in illegally. And so is somebody gonna make the uncomfortable decision to do what we supposed to do? Or we just gonna continue to let this country get ran over until you then get displaced and they on your fucking doorstep and then you're gonna get uncomfortable.
Then they're gonna say, where are all the men?
Right. Hold on. Well, where are all the men at?
So what the French toast is there to think about?
When we're trying to tell y'all, you out here with your empathy and sympathy and your you're daydreaming. And so, well, they're humans too, and this and that. Yeah, they could be humans in their own damn country. That's where they could be humans at. Send them back home.
You old fish-eyed fool.
Yeah, they could be humans in their own country. Go home and fix your own shit. We got enough problems over here.
Facts.
Well, that's my thoughts. I think that men are weak. And since the beginning of time, the only reason that y'all got here is because y'all lost. Y'all lost to the tribes in Africa that then sold you over to these Europeans that made y'all come over here and build shit, and then you lost to the Europeans too.
Right.
You didn't get over here because they loved you. Your own people sold you over here.
Man, I wish y'all would start understanding that.
You ain't right, man.
Oh, I'm right. You'll see.
I wish y'all would start understanding that. Because that's exactly what happened.
Think about that shit. They beat y'all ass and then they put y'all on some ship so that they could financially benefit from y'all. They just didn't benefit as much as the Europeans, so that they could financially benefit from y'all and that they wouldn't have to fight you again.
That's facts. There's a museum back where I'm from that explains all that. That's true.
They beat y'all ancestors' asses and sent y'all here. They just didn't benefit from it as much because they wasn't capitalists.
Right.
One of the things I think about when I think about, as far as it pertains to, Kamala Harris and Trump, I try to look at whatever situation is in front of me from the other person's lens, right? So generally speaking, if Trump gets in position, it presents a different level of approach that the people that oppose us would have, right? So I'm thinking that if a Kamala gets into a position, if she gets into the position of president, what do the people that are...
You can sell this $5 spatula on Amazon.
Boy, they trying to tear me up on commercials on this one. Jesus Christ.
That have ill intent towards us, what are they thinking about her being in that position? And how do they treat women in their country? Now, granted, there's another barrier to entry because it's the U.S. and obviously it won't be as easy. But I think the people, the Russians, whoever it is the people that may consider themselves or have ill intent towards America, they're salivating at the idea of Kamala getting in position.
Right.
Yes, because I agree. If Kamala becomes president, a lot of these presidents are not even going to take America serious. A lot of countries already look at America as a laughing stock. The women are running there, all that kind of stuff. So if Kamala becomes president, I saw a video of Putin laughing, talking about, yeah, let her become president. He was being sarcastic.
Hey, hold on here. I think I got a little something. Let me check some shit out real quick. I got a little something that I think that I'm a replay that I did have before. Hold on. Hopefully I still have it. Where we at? Hold on. Hold on. We got this gentleman right here. And I want y'all to listen to this guy. This is a white guy from America. Went over to Europe, took a trip, stuff like that. I played this on my last live. So you know what I'm saying? But he's speaking exactly to what we're talking about right here. Let's keep going.
Today I'm at a grocery store here in Nice, France, and this guy walks up to me and he says, you American? And I said, yeah. And he goes, what the hell are you people doing? I said, I know. He says, well, it's crazy. He never mentions a name, but he keeps talking about the situation in America and how wacky it is. And so I kept talking to him, and we were talking about it. He goes, the world is watching you guys and what you're doing and how you're doing it. So you got to be very careful. And I just thought it was interesting because we'd never mentioned a candidate. He walked away. Later on, he walks back up to me and he says, we never talked about who it was you were voting for. He goes, and I don't want to make you mad. He says, but you are voting for Trump, right? And I said, yes. And he said, good, because the whole world is waiting and your country looks like they're just absolutely insane. So yeah, it's one person, but I thought, wow, what does that say about the world we live in? The whole world is watching what we do. Are we going to be stupid? Or are we going to do something sensible?
Yo. Hey. And These are facts. These are facts. And this man was over in Europe, you know what I'm saying, with this situation going on. And they were talking to him about it. You know, man, come on, man. Come on. We got to wake up here before it's too late and we end up in tragedy. Because I'm telling you right now, we're living in a situation here to where forget what we're talking about in America. The other countries that are ran by men solely, we have to protect ourselves, that are ran by men solely. They will not respect us if we do the wrong thing. Those other countries will not respect us. And we will be invaded, truly invaded. And in the 21st century, I guarantee you people will not know what that's going to look like.
And what the French toast is that
Y'all
to
not
think
ready
about?
for that. Mentally, physically, emotionally. This country ain't ready for a real live takeover.
Like, you know,
Yeah, I think that women, even women and most women in the world, they adore men that are masculine, that are willing to negotiate, but would absolutely kill for them.
Right.
That's what y'all want. Y'all don't want no guy that's gonna sit there and send you downstairs if the house getting broken into. You don't even want that in your own household. So why would you want that to lead the country?
And I feel like Kamala is in the White House right now. And we see how these other countries are responding. They're sending their military aged males to our border and to our country. They're doing it now. Like we're acting like none of it's happening. You know what I'm saying? So we are seeing firsthand the result of having a female president. We look weak. We look so weak that we are taking any and everybody in, not vetting them. You know what I'm saying? Like we're already doing it. We already see what's happening.
yeah.
China's sending people over here. Russia is sending people over here. We are getting people from everywhere. That's what's going to happen when you have a female president. They're going to know you're so weak.
Yeah.
They can come and infiltrate you, and who's going to stop them?
America.
Yeah, they throwing me these joints.
Isn't that what the president's been doing though? They've been tricking us.
Yeah, but it
Maybe I'm
hasn't
tripping.
it hasn't been like this. Immigration was supposed to be that we fill certain roles based off of our needs. You know what I'm saying? Even when it came to international students for our universities,
Right.
we get the best and the brightest.
Right. We were supposed to bring the best and the brightest from other countries in, just like we did in World War II when we brought Jesus, what's his name? Who helped NASA? Werner von Braun. Once we won World War II, the Nazis lost. We brought Werner von Braun over here, him and his crew, and he helped us to build NASA. Great scientist, great engineer. We're supposed to bring the brightest and the best, not military-age men out of the jails of fucking Venezuela. No, not the bats.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
It's supposed to be, that's why you vet people legally. At the very least, you vetting them to know that they're not criminals from where they came from. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't just open the border up. I did a video that somebody sent me today. Venezuelan family bought their first house in less than 2 years of being over here, walking over here illegally over in Chicago. They got IDs, they purchasing homes, they leveraged a first-time home buyer credit. They also got their children in schools. And some people that registered for some of the schools that their children was in, that they registered first, can't get their kids in there, and they the ones that's paying the property taxes.
I think I saw that. That was in that town in Pennsylvania, right?
Nope, it's in Chicago.
Oh, okay. I saw a town in Pennsylvania where it's
It's
just
one in
happened.
Pennsylvania too. They're taking them out too.
But could you say that immigration is largely due or caused like a direct effect because of capitalism? Can you make that point?
It could be, but then at the same time, not entirely, because I believe that it's multifaceted. I believe that they're also having them over here so that they can endear them to the Democratic Party and maintain power.
No, I feel that. I just think it's largely almost like how in the 70s or 60s, how different businesses and corporations outsource the work, and it put a lot of black men in
the problem with that
position.
is that doesn't work. You have layoffs.
Mm.
It only works when you have a surplus of jobs that you can't fill.
Mm-hmm.
When you have infrastructure that can't support the very people that's coming over here, when over in Springfield, a third of the population in less than 2 years is 20,000 people that just so happen to appear and we don't even know how they fucking got here. That's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem.
Yo, shout out to that. Yes. I felt like this conversation was needed to be seen with Anton and the panel and things like that. It's a very powerful situation here that we got going on. We are in dire straits over here in America. Whether y'all like this or not, we really are. From the north to the south, the east to the west, we are in dire straits. And like I said before in one of my other previous videos, stuff like that, look out for your small towns in your states. They're sneaking them into the small towns, like you said, Springfield, stuff like that. I also did one about Segalanga, Alabama. It's on my page. It's, you know what I'm saying? Listen, look, it's kind of hard to pronounce that name in Alabama. I did one about that. They're sneaking them in there. It's places around. They're sneaking them into the small towns now. They're not just putting them also on the major cities. They're sneaking them in small areas and stuff like that. Like you said, like 20,000 people, 20,000 Haitians showed up in a number of time. And that's 20,000 for a small town that's going to displace the people that actually live there and paying taxes there. And we are in dire straits. And I think we need to wake the hell up before it's really, really too late. It's already a few barbarians in the gate. I'm sorry to tell y'all guys, but there are a few barbarians in the gate. They're here. It is what it is, man. And it's sad to say, and we need to actually wake up. But it is what it is, though, man. Hey, shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.
Some other time.
Now I want to talk about it now. See,
Fred,
another reason
I said we'll talk about that some other time.
You don't tell me what I can talk about. You don't tell me what I can talk about in my own house.
Don't you point your finger at my nose, Fred Sanford.
I'll point my finger at your nose and I'll point my foot somewhere else.